What up, everybody? I'm Hank, aka the Frozen Canuck, and welcome to the inaugural video of Bikes, Bumps, and Banter. So the first question you would ask is, why a YouTube channel? Well, my wife, who's inside the house, says, I love to talk to everybody. And my kids say I can talk to anybody about anything. So they suggested, why not try a YouTube channel, Dad? So I figured, all right, let's try a YouTube channel and we'll share something that I really enjoy doing. And I figured, well, what do I like doing more than anything else? Motorcycles. So the next question would be, well, what experience would I have to talk about motorcycles? Well, I've been riding motorcycles for well over 40 years. I started riding when I was 16. I've ridden dirt, I've ridden dual sport, I've ridden street, I've ridden sport bike, I've ridden cruiser. On the average, I probably ride anywhere between 5,000 and 20,000 kilometers a year. And people say, well, that's not very much when you think about it. But when our riding season here where I live is 5 to 6 months out of the year, if we're lucky, that's putting on a lot of kilometers. We sat down the other day and we tried to add up everything, how many kilometers have I ridden? And we kind of lost track at close to 500,000 kilometers. Some people say, well, are you brand specific? Are you a diehard Harley guy? See, I'm wearing a Harley shirt. In the background, there's a couple of Harleys. I do love my Harleys, but I'm not diehard Harley kind of guy. In my life, I've owned Hondas, Yamaha, Suzuki, Harley. The only thing domestically I haven't really owned is a Kawasaki, and I've never owned any of the other foreign sport bikes. I appreciate all the engineering that goes into all those bikes. So how I caught the riding bug is when I was a kid, our neighbor downstairs had this BMW tour bike. It was white, it was full fairing in the front, it had the saddlebags in the back, and that bike was cool. And one day he took me for a ride around the neighborhood. It was only a few blocks. Well, my parents were furious. But I mean, the itch was in. And my brother, Shaky Dan, back in the day, he rode a bike, and that guy was cool. And I figured one day, I'm gonna be just like those guys. I'm gonna get up on two wheels and I'm gonna be cool. Well, here I am many, many years later, still up on two wheels, still enjoying it. I mean, my mother always said when I was younger that one day, one of these things back here is probably gonna kill me. And well, I'm still going strong, I'm doing good. I've had my share of mishaps. I've got a few good scars and I've written off a couple of bikes. I mean, that's all part of the life experience of riding, right? One day you're up, the next day you're down. As long as you get back on that horse and keep going. There's a few stories I'll tell later on about, what happened to some of my bikes. And I mean, one of the stories will involve my 2024 Street Glide behind me here. Last year down in the States, I smoked a deer in that thing. And I mean, I walked away without a scratch. The bike had minimal damage, but that poor deer. I mean, we can go over that one later. It's fairly simple. When we're talking about guys who ride, I mean, there's always two types of rider. Those who have fallen off and those who are going to fall off. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, it may be just a small tip over at an intersection, or you're stopping on a gravel and you're falling over, or you find yourself sliding down the ditch. A lot of the guys who say that they'll never fall off their bike are usually kidding themselves. Something will happen. I mean, it could be something small, it could be something big. Always be prepared for it. So if you look around my garage, you'll see that it's quite unfinished. I've been cleaning it up there. Last year, unfortunately, my father-in-law passed away, and a lot of his stuff got moved into my garage, and we've had to clean it up and get rid of it. I've got a lot of stuff in here. Eventually, these walls will be finished and they'll look nicer, but there's still going to be a lot of stuff in here. And part of the stuff that's in here will be the three bikes behind me I'm about to show you. So bear with me on this. That is my wife's 2016 XG 750 Harley Davidson. Great starter bike, regardless of what people say. This thing is phenomenal to learn on. This is sold. It is going to a new home, but I will do some reviews on it. I'll go over the things that we've done to it and how my wife liked it. Follow up with that. Over there in the corner is her 2020 Sport Glide. That's her upgrade she got last year. She loves that bike. We'll go over that one too. We'll do a detailed ride video on that, as well as what she likes, what she doesn't like, and future plans and what we've done to it. And then back behind here is my 24 Street Glide. Again, we'll do videos on that as well. You know, what I like, what I don't like, what we've done to it. And on this table here is all the parts slated to go onto the Sport Glide this year. So some of the videos coming up will be the installation of those parts. Oh, my cameraman stick pole is not working very well. There we go. So in future videos, we will cover all the parts that I'm putting on that bike, and hopefully you'll find something useful in them, or maybe some comedy in them. You know, maybe I'll bust some knuckles. You guys get to laugh at me slapping my knuckles around. When we do rides, I'm going to take my Insta360 out with us. You know, going to film the guys I ride with. I'm going to talk to those guys about their rides, see what they figure. You know, maybe talk about their bikes. And the guys that I ride with, it's not brand specific. There's everything. Like one of them actually rides an old 1970 something Yamaha XS400. And I think that's cool because I had one of those when I was a kid. Well, not a kid, but when I was younger. So we'll do a section called Readers Rides, and I'll just talk to guys. And it'll just be me, one guy, talking to some other dude or some girl and talking about their bike. And hopefully you guys can glean some inspiration out of it. So as we move on, and people are going to say, well, the quality of my videos or how they look or what I'm using. Well, just remember, I'm one guy. My cameraman is a pole with a RAM mount on it. Right now I'm using my iPhone. For riding, I have my X360, plus I have a GoPro, and that's what I'll be using. Sometimes I'll actually pull up my drone, and maybe I'll take some drone footage. You know, it is what it is. I mean, if you like the videos, you like the videos. If you don't like the videos, you don't like the videos. C'est la vie. So that'll bring you to the end of my first video. And I'm just gonna talk normally throughout these things. I'm not gonna script anything. It's just gonna be off the cuff. You know, there's gonna be natural breaks and pauses in my voice, but that just makes me human. Like I said, if you like the videos, great, give us a like. I mean, if you really want to subscribe, you can hit that subscribe button too. But you know, for the most part, keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up, and stay frosty, my friends.